Grand Rising, Grand Day family, and welcome back to Yvette's View. And today I want to give you an update on my juice cleanse and how that's going. I had to discontinue the juice cleanse. I stopped on the 9th, so I kind of actually did at least 5 days of juice, which was good. It was a good experience. However, I had to do something different and readjust because at the time, my mental state was not, I wasn't in a good place. And I was literally hurting, thinking that this cleanse is going to help me get over this and I'll be able to forge through and continue on. But I had to also recognize that my self-talk that was happening at the time was overshadowing and overpowering all the meditation that I was trying to focus on and have the right meditation music on. And I'm just here to let you know, to be completely upfront and honest with you, I could not get it together. Therefore, I had to remember as well that it's not just about what you put inside your body, but things that kind of go on internally that could still override all the good that I was doing. And to me, it didn't make sense for me to continue in that way when I knew mentally I was causing my stomach to get upset and I was starting to get sick. And it wasn't from detox symptoms. It was literally from my own mindset at the time of being hurt, heartbroken, if you will, behind a situation that's, has to do with me personally. And so I had to stop and regroup. And I'm definitely in a better place now, mentally. But right now, I just wanted to be kind of transparent and let you know that I'm no longer doing the juice cleanse, and that even the most positive person, even the most spiritual enlightened person, if you will, or even a woke person, if you want to call them that, conscious, whatever term you want to use on it, we're still these humanoids that still have and still can be touched and affected by those that are outside of us. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, it wasn't working for me. It did not work for me during that particular point in time. I don't know if it was because I was already in a weakened state, bodily wise, but it appeared that the more I tried to get rid of this stuff, it was literally just coming up out of me. And in a sense, that was another way of purging. But I had to make a choice on the type of purging that I was going to do that would be beneficial for me completely, mind, body, and spirit. So I had to get my mind right. Just being on that part of how you think and process in your mental and your emotional well-being is so important, to make sure that you have someone that you can reach out to, have someone that you can talk to if it's not, if you can't get it together yourself. It's just the way the world is going, and you living in it but not really trying to be a part of it. It can be a difficult, challenging balancing act to be able to balance that out. And I'm going to be the first to admit I'm working on that. I have not arrived. I'm still in the process of it, but I can say that I am forever grateful for having those tools to help pull me out of this heaviness that I was feeling of just what's the point in doing what I'm doing, and the sometimes feeling isolated and feeling like you're the only one and no one's there to support you, but I've got to be able to support myself, and whether somebody supports me or not, it's all that stuff sounds good until you're faced with having to put that thing into action and then see what that looks like, and how do I manage that, and how can I make sure that I'm going to be good at the end of the day and at the end of all of it. And during that time, I knew I wasn't going to be good because of, like I said, my self-talk, the heaviness that I was feeling, the hurtness that was going on at the time, that I thought I could literally just brush up under and act like it didn't exist. Well, this particular time, it did not work. It definitely stayed with me, and it was like, I'm not going anywhere until we deal with this. I'm not going to let you move until we get this out. It's toxic to my cells. It's toxic to my nerves. It's toxic to my heart. I mean, knowing that really was like, well, let me stop, because all this other good that I'm doing, I literally could be harming myself more than helping myself, because it wasn't all inclusive. It wasn't all in unison at that moment. And as you move on through life, and then you see and hear about other people that couldn't cut it, or just could not have those tools to fall back on, I have to stay in the attitude of gratitude for knowing that I had it, even though I wasn't able to utilize it at that moment, and it wasn't feeling like it was working for me at that moment. I knew, and I know that it can. And for me, having to go through that state where I was emotional, I cried every morning. It was just a heaviness that would not get up off me. And the more I would talk about it to different people, to myself, I was sounding like a broken record. I'm like, I know people are going, are you going to keep talking about this every time we have a conversation? I was getting tired of hearing it, and I was the one who was saying it. I'm the one who's bringing it up. I'm the one who's rehearsing and regurgitating this toxic behavior, and the conversation and the situation that happened, I kept bringing it up. No one else was. It was all on me. And I was wanting to let it go. I was wanting to release it and say, I'm done with it, and it's no longer mine. And all of the good things I was knowing to do and say, the more I said it, the more like it stuck to me. Like, no, we're going to stay right here. We're not going anywhere. So you can say that all you want to. I'm not going nowhere. What you going to do? So it was this battle that was going on, and I'm all in the midst of, I'm trying to do a juice cleanse. I said, no. You're going to have to stop, because I can be doing more damage, as I said, because of my internal mindset that was going and just rehearsing over and over and over and over and over, to the point where I'm gonna tell you, even when I was getting ready to go to sleep, that noise was going on, and it was like I can't even sleep peacefully because of this tape that's going off in my head. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of it. What can I do? What else do I need to do to get this off of me? What can I do? I don't know what to do. I got to the point where I didn't know what to do. So my thing was, then stop everything right now. Just stop. Because we can't go any further until we deal with this. And it took a few days after that before I was starting to feel like myself again. I was getting back into, let me get into the attitude of gratitude. Let me be grateful for the fact that even though I'm talking about this in my head, I have breath right now. I can still see. I can still walk. I can still talk. I still have my right mind. There's so many things I could definitely be grateful for, but at the time I wasn't even thinking about it, nor did I even want to acknowledge that. But once I had to get to the point where, look, you're going to have to stop something. Something's got to give. And I had to put me first again. Even though I thought I was putting myself first with the cleanse. I was, but I had to cleanse another way first. And when you have to get to yourself and you realize, that sometimes this life can be challenging. I'm not going to say difficult and hard and all of that. I like to use the word challenging because it challenges you to get to the next level if you're insistent and you're diligent and you want to go there, even when stuff is trying to hold you back from doing it. I could definitely always say of somebody else and my child, my man, anybody outside of me, but at the end of that, I still have a choice to make. And I'm glad I'm still continuing to choose life. I'm glad I'm still continuing to choose to see what's on the other side after I get past this level. Once I get past, what's the next step for me in this process? And how do I explain this to people so that it may help them if they're going through something that it just seems like you can't seem to shake it and you don't feel like getting out of bed and your stomach is hurting and you're thinking nobody cares and it's nobody's supporting you, nobody's going to be there for me. If I was to cry out, everybody can cry out to me and I want to be there to help everyone. But there are times when I would always think, but who would I be able to do that with? Who would really want to hear me? And hear me crying out that I need help. I need support. I would like to receive some of the love that I'm giving out. I'd like to have some of that back. I want to know, why do I have to always give it to myself and I can't receive it from outside? Those are some of the questions I even ask myself. I'm going to keep it a whole being with you. I have asked myself those questions. The more I'm living, the more I can say, it is the little things that are the most important. It is being able to look yourself in the mirror and be okay with what you see. Even if it doesn't even look perfect to you at the time. It is okay. You are perfect right now, right at this moment, even when you don't feel like it. And I can tell you, I was definitely not feeling in my perfectionist state, and even coming on to do this, to admit that I did not last on my juice cleanse that I proclaimed I've been wanting to do, that I proclaimed I'm going to do. And what happened? I didn't complete. Not that I won't attempt to do it again. I'm just knowing that I had to do first things first, and I wanted to skip that step. And for me, I can't say for all, but for me, I had to do first things first. And that meant I had to go and put me first again and say, okay, let's stop, look, and listen. My daddy actually shedding more tears for my dad because I wasn't able to initially. But there was so many emotions and things of that nature that was just happening and coming. Family, I just felt like I could not, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't do this and that too. It was just, it was too much, and it felt overwhelming. And I know at times we can all have this face that, you know, we're putting these grand faces up that, oh, I'm strong, I can do this and I can handle that. And on the inside, the part that you keep hidden, the part that you don't want everybody to see, the vulnerability that you're not willing to show. And I will say I'm that person. I used to think that being vulnerable was weakness, and you don't ever do it. The longer I live, the longer I'm knowing it's my power to be vulnerable. Not so much just to everybody, but at least to myself, and to show it to myself. Because if I can't even show it to myself, because I wouldn't allow it, I'm damn sure not gonna show it to nobody else. So family, today is one of those days that I'm literally wanting to pour my heart out and let you know that there is no perfection here. In my imperfection, I'm good. That's something I would have never admitted out loud. I am not perfect, even when I'm wanting to show perfection. Everything needs to be perfect. The situation has to be perfect. If it doesn't go out the way I imagine it to be, then it's not perfect, and it's not right, and it's not this, and it's not that. It's the way it's supposed to be, and it's perfect in its imperfection. And I'm just now so grateful to be in that space, because when I tell you I was in a heavy, dark place, it's not a place that you want to stay in long, because it feels like someone's trying to pull you all the way down. And it almost feels like there's no way of recovery. Or even if you want to recover, maybe this is where it's supposed to be. Maybe I'm just supposed to be done. But then you have, or I had the spiritual maturity to know that this is not the end. I can endure, and I can make it. And I'm willing now to be vulnerable, but don't count me out, because I didn't count myself out. And I don't want you to count yourself out. That you are worth loving life in its imperfection. If you're not a billionaire yet, or you're not making your 7 figures yet, wherever you are where you're supposed to be in this journey, in this process of your life. Make your choices and own up to them. It's your journey and it's your process. And I just hope that you have the tools the way I did, even though, like I said, I have tools to use. But I'm here to tell you the fact that if you have those tools to use, it's always a good thing to be able to pull those out, definitely when you're going to need them. And yeah, family, I know this one is a long one because it's an emotional. I just wanted to kind of share with you guys that I was not in the best place, but I'm back in a better place now, recovering, mentally recovering, which is taking me some time, but I am willing to do the work, even when I feel like I'm being knocked off, because I'm not perfect. But in my imperfection, I'm going to be made perfect. So in my process of moving from a dark place back to the place that I choose to want to be, and really scratching and clawing to get there. It felt like somebody just pushed down on it and made me slide back down into it. Like, oh no, I'm going back. I don't want to be here. This doesn't feel good. But I'm back. Or I'm on the return back to feeling myself the way I choose to want to feel. I am the one who's going to be responsible going forward of how I'm going to feel and how I will allow others to make me feel. I don't have to accept what someone says about me, if that's their truth. I'll have to let you have that. Then that's your truth. There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm no longer in the process of trying to convince you to, which is something that I'm used to doing, is trying to convince you I'm not this who you say I am, and prove this and prove that. I'm glad I'm at this place then in my life too, where now I'm getting to the point where I don't have to prove anything. All the work that I did or did not do, it's in the records. So I have to let things be what they're going to be. And even in that process, family, I'm working on that because I'm still trying to control that. Let me just keep it a whole being with you on that. I'll try to control it. But that's something that I know that I need to work on for myself. So with that being said, family, I just want all of us to constantly check on people, see how they're doing, check on your family, friends, because you just never know what people are going through internally. You never know when it might be your last time that you speak to them and say hello and let them know you love them. So, yeah, family, we are all going through something, whether it be physical, mental, and or spiritual. And I think being that the spring equinox that's coming up, I'm looking forward to that. I definitely want to bring that in on a higher note. So I'm so grateful. I have to be grateful for that downtime, because now going forward, I can look forward to continuing to spring forward into something more beautiful that I know is coming, that I know is on the horizon. and I almost didn't get an opportunity to experience the good part that's to come. I'm just thankful and grateful for you, for myself, and I hope that this, me being vulnerable and just sharing a little bit of what I kind of went through, just knowing that I had some down moments and some down times mentally, that you can definitely choose to not stay there if you're willing to fight for yourself, to get yourself out of that. And even if you do have somebody that you could talk to that doesn't mind you complaining or, you know, talking about the same thing over and over, and they don't bring it up like, damn, you said it again. We still talking about this again? Yes, I'm still talking about it again because I can't get over it. I can't let it go. I want to thank those who allowed me to do that in your ear. And you didn't throw it in my face later on to say, damn, are we talking about this again? I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that. And with that being said, family, I want to just sign this off with love yourself more. Tell yourself you love yourself, and then show yourself how much you love yourself. Be good and kind to yourself. Even in your mental talk is so important. And if not, and if you can, if you need to, even reach out to someone else that you can talk to if you're feeling depressed. Because I can say I think I might have been in a state of depression during that time, because it literally felt dark, and it literally felt like I was temporarily depressed. And so if you have somebody that you can talk to, you don't have that resource, find some tools to use to get you out of it. It's so much worth it to be here for not just others, but for yourself as well, to just see where you can elevate to. And again, I'm about going to the next elevation, and there was this other force that was trying to prevent that, and I literally almost allowed it to happen. I keep rambling. I really want to cut this off because I never wanted to do a longer video this way, but family, I guess it was needed. And I guess I just need to get this out. And with that, I'm so thankful for your patience to let me ramble on and just kind of give you what my status is right now, and just overall, even what the world is even going through right now. There's so many people that are not in a good mental space. And meditation, I know, works. Affirmations and speaking positivity to yourself works. Even when you don't feel it penetrating, it's going to work. At least that's been my experience. It will work if you want it to work. At the end of the day, it's still about you. So with that being said, family, I'm going to end this and tell you, don't forget to ask you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I post a video. Again, I want to thank you for allowing me to ramble today. I wish all of you to be in a good mental health space, a good physical space, and a good spiritual space. With that being said, family, enjoy the rest of your day. Love you to life. Peace.